Hey everyone, it's Akilah from HeartsChat, and the past couple videos you've seen Erica and Nicole discuss their initial reactions to Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, and the Dallas police shooting. And today I'm going to be doing the same. And if you've been watching HeartsChat, you can kind of pick up on our personalities and mine. I like to be organized. I like to get things done. Check them off my list. And, doing this video has been on my list for about a week now because of how difficult it is for me to talk about this subject. My initial reaction, I would say that I wasn't necessarily shocked because this is something that, police killing unarmed people, especially black men, is something that is very prevalent. It happens all the time. It's just, for me, initially, I wasn't shocked. Now, with that, I will say I was still, saddened, disgusted, all the negative emotions that can come out of situations like this, because, again, I have been seeing this. I have been dealing with this, as a black woman, having black, male figures in her life, father, grandfather, brothers, cousins, all those, you get scared and you kind of envision them going through that process, which makes things even scarier out here for family members. This violence is senseless, especially from police who are supposed to be protecting people, not necessarily taking the law into their own hands. Now, on the flip side of this, the Dallas shooting was also senseless violence. I understand the frustration, the being angry, all of these things, but killing innocent people isn't necessarily going to change or help the situation. So I also felt really sad for those police officers as well, because it was just unnecessary. I usually don't write on Facebook, but I just had the thought to write on Facebook all of my feelings about everything. It's seeing the comments, seeing, how people just can't understand, or at this point, people don't want to understand when it's right in their face what's going on in this country. Racism exists. This cannot be denied. Everyone needs to start hearing each other and hearing the experiences of people and not putting them down and say, oh no, that doesn't happen, just because it doesn't exist in our own worlds. Because these things do exist, these things are real, and it's important for everyone to start really learning and come together to combat the system that all of this was bred in, the racism, oppression, stereotypes, assumptions. We need to combat this system or things are never really going to change. And in the message on Facebook, I wrote, black people in this country, all over the world, but I live in America, but black people in this country have been dealing with negative things for over, I think, 500 years now. Over. And something that is so poignant is that Jim Crow basically ended in 1963, 65, the 60s, early to mid 60s area. And that was only, 51 years ago, if we go with a lower number? 51 years. Like, how our grandparents, some of our parents were alive during all of this. How do we not understand that there is residual effects from all of that still? It just doesn't disappear in 51 years. When things like this happen for me, it's, okay, how can we change it? How can we do this? But what it comes down to is that the people who are claiming that they don't see it, or maybe uneducated, or are ignorant, and not ignorant in the sense of stupid, but just not knowing because they don't have to, what's really going on in this situation, need to listen to the people who have been saying this stuff for years. Like, this is not new rhetoric. Like, this is nothing new. Black people have been saying all these things that we are hearing on social media, on the TV, on everything for years and years and years. So this is where all the frustration, the violence, the aggression is coming in, because this is a said and done. Although this does not compare in any way. You can think of it as like this, if you're a parent or if you take care of children, you tell them the same thing over and over and over and over again, and they don't get it, and they still do the same thing even after you tell them. What do? You get frustrated, you get angry, you yell. This is on a grander scale of what is happening. Over and over, Black people are telling you that their lives do not matter in this country because this A, B, C, D, E are happening, and no one is listening. There's few here and there, but not enough people to change the situation. So we keep saying these things over and over and over again. What do we expect to happen? Anger, frustration. Family members are getting killed for no reason. People are just standing there looking a certain way. It's just senseless, and this needs to stop. Our assumptions about each other, our stereotypes about each other, we need to come together. It's important to just listen and understand and try to be empathetic to what is going on, because that is what's going to connect people, is empathy, not sympathy. Sympathy is just, oh, I hope it feels better. No, empathy is trying to feel and understand, trying to put your person, never fully being in their shoes, but trying to put yourself in that other person's shoes, like looking around and say, hey, something has to give. It's really sad time. It really is. But I also think it's sad, but it's good. It's bringing awareness to things that have been said for years. It's saying people aren't going to take this unfair treatment anymore. Black Lives Matter. End of story. Black Lives Matter does not mean anti-police, anti-white, anti-whatever else you want to throw in there. It means that we want to be considered equal as everyone else because all lives matter. But apparently, Black lives aren't being mattered right now. And not only Black lives, there's other minorities too, but right now, Black lives don't seem to matter at all. In terms of police, obviously their lives matter too. It is up to our good police officers to stand up to the bad ones who are taking the law into their own hands. If you or I were to do something similar to that, we're going to jail. These cops are not being convicted, and that is where the issue is coming in. So, like I said, my initial reaction is shock, it's sadness, it's disgust, because it's familiar, to say the least. And it's scary out here when your 15-year-old cousin is crying to her mother because she's afraid that her brother or her father or her friends won't be coming home because of this. And although this is a very negative, upsetting topic, I always hold out hope that things can and will change. I am seeing more and more police officers and communities coming together to try to work together, to figure out a solution, to regain the trust, to rebuild relationships, and trying to get to know each other so we can trust, and listening and hearing each other, which I think is extremely positive things and should be things that are shown more on the media than what is actually being shown. So with this, like I said, this is a difficult topic for me to discuss. Like, you may find that I was all over the place in what I was talking about because there's just so many facets, so many layers, so many things that go into so many years of dealing with oppression and aggression and racism, that this video of me talking about it is not nearly enough time for me to get everything that I really want to say about it. But, one thing message I would say, be a little kinder to people, look at the facts, look at the contradictions in the way that police activity is dealt with Black people and other races. Do your research. Talk to people. Just get out there and try to make the world a better place in your own environment. Because for me, I'm an optimist. I will always think there's going to be a better day someday. It may not be in our lifetime, but I know that someday things can get better.
If you are an artist and would like us to play your music or have a product or brand that you would like us to advertise, or if you have any questions or comments, please email us at HeartsChat@HeartsChatRadioshow.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Periscope at HeartsChat, and our Instagram at HeartsChatRadio. We post a lot of motivational messages up throughout the day, so if you need a little inspiration or pick-me-up, follow our pages. And for more information on HeartsChat, be sure to visit our website, www.HeartsChatRadioshow.com.
We hope you enjoyed our show today. Tune in every Sunday and Tuesday on HeartsChatRadioshow.com for a new episode of HeartsChat. So don't forget to tune in again at HeartsChatRadioshow.com and check us out.
And visit my blog and ask me all of your relationship questions anonymously at FromEricasHeart.com. Thank you for listening to HeartsChat, where we speak from the heart.
Bye.
Bye-bye.